it's Jen with Playmaker Coaching and Consulting. This week, our winning play that we're talking about is some of the lessons I learned about business in our recent trip to Alaska. Every year, we try to take a different trip to a national park, and I think it's really helpful to try to think about how we connect our everyday life experiences to what we do as business owners and professionals and the impact that we're trying to make in our communities. So I want to share 5 things with you that really stood out to me on this trip that might resonate with you and you can apply to your business. First was our daughter Samantha taking the polar plunge in Homer. To me, this is all about embracing big moves and being curious about new possibilities. That sometimes, like us as her parents, we pigeonhole people and think that this is all that they can be or what they're known from. But sometimes when we're around different people, like all the other people that were on our trip with us, nobody else doubted that she was going to get into the water. It was just us and our limited view of her. So sometimes we got to break free and seek new perspectives and put ourselves around different people that help us think about ourselves in different lights. The second one was the wildlife encounters. Amazing to be able to see it from afar. I don't need to be too close, but to seek diverse experiences. The varied wildlife, from seeing the moose finally to bears from a safe distance. It's also important to understand habitats, just like we understand our markets and where do people hang out. It was very different that when we were on a helicopter ride and the pilot knew exactly where to go to see the wildlife than when we were out walking, hoping maybe we'll see something. Wouldn't that be cool? So we have to go to where the wildlife is or where our market is for it to really pay off, right? We can't just help that it's going to come to us. So we always got to stay alert, be ready for it, because sometimes we don't know if we're going to actually see it, even if we go to where we think they're going to be. Otherwise, we might miss those opportunities. Third, hiking Exit Glacier and the spectacular views in the Kenai Forge National Park were amazing. And to me, this was all about endurance and perseverance. The challenging hike, felt great on the way up and everything, but it was much more challenging on the way down. Mirrors the tenacity that we need in business to make sure that we don't just make it to the top, but we make it round trip, right? So many people make it to the top of Mount Everest and don't survive the way down. We got to make sure that we can make it the whole trip and overcome those obstacles to achieve our long-term goals. So even though I was sick, unfortunately, the entire way down the mountain, not just my knees hurting, but physically very sick the way down, I had support with a guide and other people on our journey to help get me through it and encourage me and slow down and stick with me to make it possible. And just like there's stunning rooms of views that we had from our room and from the view at the top of the glacier, we have to make sure to take that broad perspective to keep us focused on that long-term vision while we navigate those daily challenges. So focus on what you can control and take each step with determination and that support that's available for you. The fourth one was our rafting adventure. We love the water, and it was a beautiful day, thankfully, to enjoy the ride. And I want you to think about that. Are you enjoying the journey? It was funny when we were on the raft that our guide, Steve, had this mishap, got a little wet, even with his rain or his waterproof gear on. And then seeing my husband, kind of sunbathing, just taking it all in, chilling back and embracing the water and the adventure really reminded us to keep perspective and find joy in the journey. And even when things don't go quite like planned and you get a little wet, to make the most of it and savor those moments, because sometimes the things that don't go like we expect are actually the things that are most memorable and really transform us in our life over time. And the last one was the Salmon Sisters bond. My daughter and the 2 other girls that were on the trip became the best of friends in the week that we were together. And I think that was because they were open about being really curious about others, that not just sticking to themselves, but learning about other people. And the camaraderie between them really showcased how being genuinely curious and interested in others can really forge deep relationships in a short amount of time, right? That when you spend that amount of time with people and you have all this time in nature just to talk and you're hiking for hours. It's amazing what you learn about other people. So how can you be genuine and uncover opportunities? Because sometimes they'll surprise you and happen when you least expect them. So I hope this resonates with you. I'd love to hear about in your own adventures. What are some of the things that you take back and you apply to business, or that you think that we can apply in our lives to continue to grow as professionals and make more impact in the people that we care about? Hope you have a great week. Come back next Tuesday at noon, and we will be talking about those Northwestern Mutual annual meeting highlights about how you can be limitless in your business.